This Value of Accreditation webinar is our chance every month to welcome in our new ABs or talk to prospective accredited businesses and share with them all the different resources that we have available and share a little bit about our mission and just what it is that we do. So this is just our time to sit down and talk about all the ways in which we wish to serve you. And like I had said before, we are in a new setup. Today we are testing out podcast style. We would like to do the VOA in this style in the future, and this is our very first one. So welcome to our test trial. And to start us off, I'd really like to just share a little bit. Oh, first off, we are also having a presentation with this, so I'd like to suggest to you guys, if you want to check on the top right corner of your screen, you can change the view to side-by-side speaker, and that way you can see us and you can also follow along the presentation if you'd like. But to start us off, I wanted to talk a little bit about the background of BBB. So BBB was founded by the Advertising Club, which it was founded in 1912. And back then the Advertising Club was called the Gentlemen's Advertising League, which, you know, sign of the times by its name. They, at that time, advertising had completely taken off in a very unethical way, and people were advertising unethically and making a lot of untrue claims, and it had started to create a lot of distrust in the marketplace, and people weren't really trusting legitimate advertisers even. And so the Advertising Club, this is their trade, and it was something that they wanted to be honorable. So they decided to build this organization to try and put a little bit more regulation in advertising and really remedy that and build more trust in the marketplace between consumers and businesses. So that's how this came about. So the vision for BBB overall is an ethical marketplace where buyers and sellers trust each other. And the mission of us is to be the leader in the advertising marketplace trust. Since this founding of BBB, we've really evolved to cover a whole lot more than advertising. And we overall want to be the leader in advancing marketplace trust in many different ways. So there's a couple of ways in which we do that.
Yeah, Judith, one of the ways that we fulfill our mission is that we set the standards for marketplace trust. You know, we encourage and support the best practices by engaging with and educating our consumers and our businesses. We also call out and address substandard marketplace behavior, just like they wanted to do back in 1912. We celebrate marketplace role models. We identify those that are doing it well and like to highlight them. Mm-hmm. And then we also create a community of trustworthy businesses and charities. So we have been doing this trust building for over 100 years. One of the things that we do is we have our accredited businesses. And those are businesses like yourself that we have accredited and say, these are trustworthy businesses. And as accredited businesses, we have tools that you can access, things like this podcast and other tools that we have to help you build successful relationship with your customers and have build a great reputation for yourself in the marketplace.
Okay, so a little bit about who we are, specifically the BBB at Central Oklahoma. So like Bill said, nationally, BBB has been around since 1912. Here, the one in Central Oklahoma was founded in 1930. So we're nearing that 100-year anniversary as well. We're catching up. And our service area covers 54 counties. You can see the area on your screen. It is all of central and western Oklahoma. And the way we accredit businesses and review that, being around for as long as nearly 100 years, we really had to learn how to measure trust because that's a little bit hard to do. Trust is hard to measure, but we've been around long enough that I think we've got it down to a science. And so there are a couple of different standards that we look for in all of our accredited businesses, and within each standard, there are even more specific things that we look for to quantify that. But here are our overall standards that we expect from all of our accredited businesses.
Judith, yes, those 8 standards begin with building trust. That is the number one standard that we focus on.
Yeah.
Also, we want to make sure that we are all advertising honestly, and that we are telling the truth when we advertise and when we interact with our customers. And we also promote transparency. Anything that's done without transparency can be easily miscued or have some other meanings. So the transparency allows that trust to continue. We also want to honor our promises. And that's what we like about our accredited businesses. Our accredited businesses make promises to the customers that they honor. Mm-hmm. And we support that and we celebrate that with our businesses. Yeah. We want to be responsive. When we have a complaint from a consumer, an accredited business wants to respond quickly to help resolve that, to come with a solution that's equitable to both the business and the consumer. And at the BBB, we love to be able to play a role to get to that resolution.
That's a big one for consumers. Both of those. I mean, even us who work in business, I think when someone tells you they're going to respond or call you back or email you, it feels really great when they do that, when they keep those promises. So yeah, that's a really big one for them.
Yeah, I agree. And then, also, and this is important in this day and age, especially safeguarding privacy. Our customers, they trust us with their valuable private information. And so as accredited businesses, we stand for providing safeguards to make sure that our customer knows that we're ensuring the privacy of their information. And then lastly, we want to embody integrity in everything we do. We want all of our actions to be above board, to be ethical, to show that we are businesses and people of integrity and that they indeed can trust us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So here are some of the different resources that we provide in order to help build that trust in the marketplace. Our first one, and most commonly, is we overall just provide a lot of information publicly on businesses and charities to consumers. Best known through our website, bbb.org. We have business profiles on businesses where we say their location, their contact information. We post complaints and customer reviews so that a consumer can always check out the website, search for a business, and see a unbiased review of the business instead of self-posted reviews by the business on their website. So this is like a different avenue for consumers to use. And it's also a publicity for the businesses, and a lot of businesses don't have their own website. It is so they rely on BBB and that business profile to help publicize themselves a bit more online. Another one is we have alternative dispute resolution. This is known as our complaint department, also a very popular and common known one for BBB. And this is just a third option for businesses and consumers, so that if an issue ever does arise, they can look to us to help resolve it instead of having to take it to court. Neither party ever wants to do that. So this is a third option to try and do it. Free service from BBB and find a good compromise and a resolution between the two of them. And then the third one, we also do advertising reviews. Since the advertising club is so deep from our history, this is always a part of what we do. In advertising reviews, we do these every year to accredited and non-accredited businesses. And we have separate from our standards of trust, we also have a code of advertising with different things that we look for ethical advertising on websites, in print, and podcasts if they have that. And so we review that to make sure that it is up to our the code of advertising and nothing that could be misleading to consumers. And some more things that we provide is a very popular one is networking and business training workshops. So a couple of years ago, we did a survey to our accredited businesses on what was it that they would like to see more of, how could we tailor our services better to them. And one of the most popular responses that we had is they wanted more networking opportunities, that was something that they craved more of. So we really took that and ran with it. And we have more than doubled our events since then. And we'll go a little bit more into detail about all the different events that we do offer. That is another part of our services here at BBB. And we also have consumer tips. And business tips. We do research and release articles on different parts of the business sectors. whether we're talking about scams or talking about tax day, which just happened. We talk about different subjects that we know appeal to our consumers and our businesses to help them prepare for success. And then finally, we have scam alerts. Growing more and more each day are scams, especially with the age of the internet. And that's something that consumers often look to us to get more information on or know what avenue they have to be able to prevent that or help in that. So we have an online BBB scam trackers where consumers can report a scam or they can check a business to see if there have been any reports on them already.
You know, Judith, before I joined the BBB, that's kind of how I really learned more about the BBB, was through the scam alerts. I would see those, and then I went to the website and I began to look and say, oh, there's a lot of information here besides the scam alerts. Mm-hmm. But again, in today's age, it is so important that we provide that to our community.
Yeah. Before I came to business outreach department, I was in operations. And so I reviewed the scam tracker, and we got reports every single day. One of the most popular ones are pet scams. A lot of online scams. So that's something that is really prevalent today and age. Okay, the next one is our favorite one.
Yes.
It's the one that we work closely with, and it is events. So the first one is our BYOBBB happy hour. If you want to talk a bit more about that one.
Yes, our BYOBBB happy hour is a great event where we gather at local breweries once a quarter, and we gather for networking and for meeting different people and sharing about our businesses, but also we benefit the local business by showing up and tasting their tasty craft beers. And it's really a great time of, it's really fun.
Yeah.
You know, it's after hours, it's a time to kind of relax and really share who you are and a little bit about your business, really get to know people.
So our next one scheduled for that one, I believe, is in June. But all of these events are on our Eventbrite, so that you can stay up to date. You can also message us to make sure that you're added to our newsletter if you're not already. And there we also send out all the updates on our events on which ones are coming up, so make sure you don't miss any of them. And the next one, this is actually the ones who's coming up next, and one of our biggest ones of the year, and it's the Big Blue Bash. And this one, we started, I think maybe 4 years ago, and we had a blast, and we've done it every year since. And this is an annual appreciation event for our business community. We appreciate all of the incredible businesses because we do have so many incredible businesses here in Oklahoma. And we truly just celebrate them. We celebrate them with free food, free local beer, music, and we kind of just have a good time. We have it here at our building in downtown Oklahoma City, both inside our building and also in our parking lot. We spread all throughout, and it's a fun one that we look forward to each year. And this year is coming up next month on May 19th.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's 4 to 7. So if you haven't already registered, that is live on our Eventbrite already, so you can make sure to save your spot.
Yeah, and I've not been to one, so this is going to be my first one. I'm looking forward to it, and I would love to meet you all there.
And another one that I like to talk about is our Ambassador Coffee. This is kind of the morning version of our happy hours. So it is, this one takes place monthly. We just had one yesterday, actually, for this month. And we have this multiple locations for our Ambassador Coffees. This one really came about because we saw that we felt like a lot of our events are in Oklahoma City, but we have so many businesses outside of that. And we wanted to make sure we could reach as many as we can. So our goal with this is to try and grow and expand more and more outside of Metro Oklahoma. Currently, we have 2 live locations, one in Edmond and one in Moore, so north and south of Metro OKC. Yeah,
and Judith, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but be looking for Norman and Midwest City, and maybe even a little further west, but we will keep that a surprise for now.
Yes. So we're definitely working on growing this and having more and more options for our businesses who live in different areas and might not be able to drive early in the morning to OKC to network, but really do value that opportunity to shake hands with someone and hopefully get a referral out of all their new connections. And then a final event that we'd love to talk about is Revere and Revel. This one we started last year. This is our annual women's conference. And this one was started because we saw that with all the connections that we have been able to make in our wonderful business community and all of our supporters, we were seeing a lot of support and a huge growth of women entrepreneurs. And we wanted to take a moment to honor and celebrate that. We saw how these past years especially, it's been growing and growing of many women taking that step to build their own business. And we know a lot of women who are already thriving. So we wanted to connect those two and help develop a space where women can help each other and grow in order to reach the success that they'd like to have. So that is how Revere and Rebel came about. This is our fall statement event this year. Oh no, the dates left my mind. I believe it's in October. No, I'm wrong. It's in September, right?
September.
Yeah, it's in September. I don't remember the exact date, but it's still coming up. It's also on our Eventbrite. It's much more reliable than my mind is. So please check that out. All of these events are on there. And I'll have my contact information at the end of this presentation as well as Bill's, so you can reach out if you'd like to have the direct link to Eventbrite. We'd love to share that with you. So I'm not going to read over this, but these are a couple of the things that our accredited businesses are saying. So this is being recorded and we will post it, and I can make the link available to all of our registered attendees. So that way, if you'd like to go through it, you can read it at another time.
Hey, just a quick one. Yesterday at the Ambassador Coffee and More, one of our new business ABs, that's what we call our accredited businesses, was telling me the value that BB Accreditation has already brought to her as a new business. It brings her immediate, she called it gravitas. She's an attorney and newly out of law school. And so she felt that it gave her the backing that she's accredited, that she's been vetted, and she appreciates the BBB, and we had a great conversation.
I love that. Yeah, I always have a good time when I come out to those. So the next thing is, overall, what does accreditation mean to consumers? So we've talked a little bit about all of the different resources and services that we have for our businesses. So I want to take a moment and talk about what it means to consumers. So we surveyed them nationally. This was a national survey done by our national organization in 2014-2015. And the number one result of what it means to consumers was that 84% of them, of consumers who are familiar with BBB ratings, they're more likely to purchase if a business has a high BBB letter grade. And similarly, 83% of them, so that if they're familiar with BBB overall, they're more likely to purchase with a business who uses the BBB accreditation seal, which is that image that you see on the left side of the screen with the torch.
Right, Judith. And so she just shared with us the reason businesses join, and you can see that there. Another couple of reasons that businesses join is that it adds prestige to the business. Like I said about my friend that I met this week, she felt it added some prestige to her new business. And it also supports BBB's mission of bringing trust to the marketplace and integrity among businesses and business leaders.
So the seal that we mentioned, it symbolizes a lot of different things to buyers. It symbolizes quality, honesty. It symbolizes something that has a good business standing, kind of like the lady you met yesterday, that she had been vetted and it got the approval of BBB. And overall, what that means, what being vetted means, is that they are a reliable and trustworthy business. And the seal that, once a business is accredited, we give them rights to share and use the BBB logo anywhere that they use their business name. And there are multiple popular ways that use that. The most popular one is on their own website or social media, if they have that. And we have a dynamic seal for that. That way it can be set apart differently from just a downloaded image. Our dynamic seal, when you hover over the logo, it shows the BBB letter grade. It shows when they joined BBB, their accreditation start date. And it shows that today's date to make sure that it is active and up to date. And when you click it, it takes you directly to that business's profile. So you can learn a bit more about them, see if they've had any complaints, customer reviews, are they licensed, things like that.
And that's so important nowadays, because who doesn't do some research before you hire a business.
Yeah.
And so this is an easy way for your customer to see about you and to know about your integrity.
That's true. So they are also able to use that more in like print media, whether that be on their business cards, on billboards. We also provide vehicle magnets and stickers if they'd like to put it on their vehicles. These all come in annual welcome packs. So if you are a business who just joined, you either have or hopefully already received your welcome pack, or it should be on your way. We send that out usually like every Monday, I believe is the date that we send those out. So here's some statistics that we have from last year that I thought were really interesting, and I wanted to make sure to share that with our accredited businesses. And that was, the first one is the seal, the one that we just discussed and is on the right side of your screen, is that it received 42,000 seal clicks in last year. So businesses who had the seal on their website, there were 42,000 times that someone clicked it to be taken to their business profile. And this is, all these statistics are for just our local BBB in Central Oklahoma. And then the next one is overall website visits, that we had almost 2 million visits to our website in 2021. And we had over 1 million profile inquiries. So this is times that a consumer searched a specific business name inquiring about a specific business through our website. So there was over 1 million inquiries last year in 2021.
You know, Judith, as I'm learning now at my time at BBB, a lot of our accredited businesses are not taking advantage of that seal, and as we, you know, it really is important. And so I want to encourage you to take advantage of the seal. If you need some help getting that placed on your website, reach out to us. We'd be glad to help with that.
Yeah, that's true. You can, if you're already accredited, you can access the seal on your AB Toolkit. So when you log into your portal through our website, if you don't have your login already, definitely call us. Here's our contact information. That way we can make sure you do have your login. But on there, on the main menu, you'll see an AB Toolkit. And when you click that, it gives you specific things that you need to set all your things up, and one of those being the dynamic seal on your website. So there you're able to customize it, whether you want it vertical or horizontal. Do you want it to show your letter grade? If so, where do you want it? Something that can, what color grades do you want it? What will suit your website best? So you can customize it in a couple of ways. Because, you know, it's your website and you might have a specific aesthetic you want for it. So we give those options. And that really wraps a lot of the what we wanted to share with you today. We have our contact information here on the screen. Bill and I are always happy to talk with our accredited businesses and connect you with any resources that you might need. If you have more questions about all the things we shared, we would love to answer those questions. If you have any immediate questions, you can also feel free to put them in the chat and we can answer them to you live. Are there any closing thoughts that you'd like to share, Bill?
You know, my closing thoughts are the accreditation, the value of it is there for you. And I want to encourage you to take that and to reach out to us, to attend the events, to use the seal and get your money's worth and allow it to help you build your business and show your customers that you are an ethical business.
Yeah. Well, if you're viewing this and you're new accredited businesses, we would love to meet you and get connected. So reach out to us or come out to our Big Blue Bash next month. That would be a great way for us to get connected in person, which is always more fun, and you'll get free food out of it too. So that pretty much wraps up all we wanted to share. I hope all you guys have an incredible day, and we'll make sure to also send this link out to all of our registered attendees in case you'd like to review any of it later. But thank you guys. Have a great day.
Have a great day, guys.